Good evening, YouTube. It is shortly after Halloween of 2017, November 3rd. It's November 3rd. Let's see what happened today. Melody came by for a visit. She used to live here. Now she lives on the coast at this point. She's here for Samhain, or ritual. We hung out and saw the new giant bar at the backstage at the Baghdad. They took what used to be the bar at the Lotus Room in downtown Portland, and at some effort and expense moved it and preserved it. It looks really good. It's really big. And the manager, one of the managers, was there, and he was proud of how he'd arranged all the bottles and stuff. Anyway, what we're looking at here, the theme, this is going to be short. This is going to be, I'm going to wander a bit, but how bad can it be? It's just going to be like a couple minutes. Two kinds of modules. They're Python modules, right? These are like third-party modules, and I've just now finished watching this overview by Chris Hawks of some of the most important third-party add-on modules. And when I talk about third-party add-on modules, just let's look at how I introduce Python these days. This is a computer language. I talk about the 5 dimensions of Python, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keywords are just like the 33 to 35 keywords that give kind of the skeletal syntax, control the flow of the logic. The built-ins are names that it will find right out of the bat. You don't have to import anything. Special names, sort of, anyway, you get the idea. I'm not going to teach the whole Python. And then another meaning of module. Let's go to Codesters, which is a platform I use to teach Python. It's kind of a 2.7 Python flavor, but nevertheless, it's worth learning, I think. It's an interesting transition from scratch, and you've seen in my YouTube channel at least other YouTubes about this. Okay, so I've got my password manager, and we're hoping that I can find the right password. No problemo. No, there is a problemo. See, this is the thing. My password manager does not make life easier in all the ways I want it to. So what I'm going to show you is another meaning of the word module, which is not that often encountered because the geometry that I'm about to share is not that widely shared. And in a way, I might be giving the impression that it is because I am sharing it myself in the context of going around and teaching different skills, computer skills, to different schools. It's an after-school program. And so here you see where I'm giving some background for them, but really I'm just showing them, you know, how you could, if you wanted, take Codesters and use it kind of a presentation manager. And I'm saying this is geometry that interests me, so here's how I use Codesters as a presentation manager. And then I flip through it and give them that concept. So I'm not really focusing directly on the topic of the modules of synergetics, the A and B modules and so forth, but I am giving an example of what we do in Codesters if we want a context manager. So if there's a presentation manager, I should say. So if they do run this code, then you do get a very short slide thing where you first talk about how we can explode the regular tetrahedron into 24A modules, and then this is a different icosahedron. It's the one inside the volume 4 octahedron. It's not the jitterbug icosahedron. And that's where our S modules develop from. Now this table can be confusing because we never see these numbers hardly anywhere, and it all has to do with setting the volume of the A module to 1 in this case. That's why the sudden multiplying of 24 by these volumes. But that icosahedron, much more familiar to us if we don't multiply its volume by 24. David and I get at it with the S factor and so forth. Let's see, is there anything else? I think that'll do it. So the two kinds of module I just talked about are the synergetics modules, which are these little tetrahedron wedges that we use to do our sort of accounting, and that I'm using kind of as a side result of teaching Codesters. I'm showing how if you have a hobby, if there's something you're interested in, you could use Codesters as a presentation manager, and that Codesters is like third-party module for the Python computer language. So when we add on to Python, we do so in terms of modules, but that's kind of a different sense of module, but you can still think of Python as made out of lots of modules. So in a way, there's a kind of a geometric analogy where you can imagine building out from the center as Python is some kind of growing polyhedron or something, but that's kind of just bonding the two meanings because we can. Okay, I hope that was interesting. Let's get this on YouTube for everybody.